Peace, everybody. I'm your host, Jabari Lamb, and this is another edition of the BAIO News. I haven't done a lot of videos because I've been very busy and I just don't have the time, but I am making some time to make this video about Liberia's dual citizenship, and I will be discussing what has happened as of lately and the implication that it has for next year and beyond. Of course, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you comment down below. Tell us what you think about these videos. And of course, make sure you sign up to the website at balafrikstan.org/register. So for those who are not aware, Liberia currently ease dual citizenship for natural born Liberians. And this is important because there is a clause in the dual citizenship. It was in 1973. Basically, in 1973, there was a article that stated that if you were a Liberian and you had citizenship and you went to another country, you got naturalized, and you became a citizen of another country, you automatically lose your citizenship. Well, now they're saying that that is not the case. You still have your citizenship. The only way that they can strip your citizenship is if you go through the courts, a due process measure. They have to basically do a court case on you in order for you to lose your citizenship. This case, this topic has been talked about by Liberia to the World. Make sure you subscribe to him. She did a video. Make sure you subscribe to her channel about this. And Focus on Liberia did a segment on this. So I want to read some information about this so people can understand the context of it. So it says Liberia is going to ease dual citizenship for natural born citizens. This is written by Front Page Africa, so you can get this from Front Page Africa. Written by Leonard Dodu, October 14, 2021. So it says, written from Chancellor Dean, and it was to the Honorable Kamea. I think it's Kamea. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, please correct me. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. But Chancellor Dean, and his name is Chancellor Frank Muad'Dib. He is an Attorney General, and he's also the Minister of Justice. He says, "Dear Honorable Kamea, we present compliments and have the honor to inform you that the Supreme Court of Liberia, pursuant to a ruling and judgment delivered on December 23rd, 2019, declared sections 22.1 and 22.2 of the Aliens and Nationality Law Title 4 of the Liberian Code of Law, revised, approved May 15th, 1973, and established and published unconstitutional to the extent that it does not provide due process before the forfeiture of Liberian citizenship. You will be pleased to know that sections 22.1 and 22.2 cited above apply to Liberian citizens by birth who obtain naturalizations in a foreign country. Henceforth, Liberian citizens who undertake any one or more of the acts described in sections 22.1 do not ipso facto lose Liberian citizenship without institution of a proceeding to nullify or cancel such citizenships. The automatic forfeiture of Liberian citizenship without resort to any judicial proceeding to nullify or cancel same is declared unconstitutional, void, and null. Please ensure that the implementers of the revised regulations to govern the administration and issuance of Liberian passports take due note. With kind regards, Chancellor Frank Muad'Dib, who is again the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General." Now, this applies strictly to natural born Liberians, people who were born in Liberia, and this is obviously due to the fact that there was First and Second Liberian Civil War, and hundreds of thousands of Liberians went into the diaspora. So they mostly stayed in the United States, but they also went to Australia, they went to Canada, they went to Europe. They also went to Ghana, Nigeria as well. So basically, this is going to ease it. However, Front Page Africa also noted in another article, and this one was also written by Leonard Dudu. He says Liberia dual citizenship still remains unresolved as a Senate plans to amend 1973 Alien and Nationality Law, subject Article 28 of Constitution 2 referendum. So what that basically states is that they're easing it. However, the constitutional clause in 1973, the Alien Nationality Law, basically is still in place. It's just stating that they would have to do due process, but however, Liberia is in the current moment, it's not official. And this was written by Modern Ghana. It was written by the Concerned Liberians Against Dual Citizenship. I will be going into this and I will be debunking a lot of this nonsense, because there is a lot of nonsense in this article. It's in Modern Ghana. It's Jubilation on Misinformation, the Case of Advocacy for Dual Citizenship in Liberia. Now, once again, a lot of this stuff in it is not going to make sense, but basically they're saying that the Liberian government is doing this dual citizenship for the bicentennial, because of course we've been talking about this on the BAIO channel throughout. Next year marks the 200th anniversary of when the first African Americans formed their official settlement in Monrovia. It is the second capital to be founded by African Americans after Sierra Leone, Freetown in 1787. It says, another reason that the government plans to have next year the bicentennial anniversary of the coming of the Black American settlers, immigrants. I hate that word settlers, but let's continue on to Liberia. The administration hopes that by giving Liberian passports to foreign naturalized Liberians, more Liberians abroad would come to Liberia for the anniversary. Moreover, the anniversary would help to improve Liberia-U.S. relations, encouraging the American government to give more aid to Liberia, and African Americans and American businesses would invest in Liberia. The New Dawn newspaper reported on the upcoming program that the anniversary would showcase Liberia's vast tourism attractions and would be an opportunity for Liberian diaspora, African Americans, and friends of Liberia to visit the country. Besides the presumed economic cultural advantages, the government appears to hope that the celebration would give the administration political leverage in the 2023 election by more Liberians abroad supporting the CDC party. Of course, we've been talking. I haven't delved much into it, but in 2023, that will be the end of George Weah's first term, and of course, he's going to be up against re-election against what's being called the collaborating political parties. Although the collaborating political parties, there has been a lot of dysfunction going on there. But basically, he states that dual citizenship will not bring significant national development through formative investment. Dual citizenship is a personal endeavor geared to regain the land, property, and power, and is not for national development. I don't know what he's talking about here, or whoever wrote this, because a lot of countries have dual citizenship, and even countries that don't necessarily have dual citizenship, they give their people means who are outside ways to invest in their country and influence their country. So this idea that dual citizenship is somehow not geared for national development, or just because two people have two passports, that it means that somehow it's not going to be beneficial, doesn't make any sense. And then he's going to make the claim that says that if you have dual citizenship, basically, if somebody commits a crime in Liberia, they're going to go to the United States or go somewhere and escape justice, completely forgetting the fact that some countries have extradition treaties, which is if you commit a crime and you go somewhere abroad, you can be extradited back to that country if that country so demands it, if they have an extradition treaty. He says, while Liberians in general appreciate the remittance from diaspora Liberians, that's an insult, because at least 11 to 25% of Liberia's GDP comes from remittances. And I will do another video talking about why the diaspora Liberians and African Americans matter. But he said it should be noted that Liberians abroad as a family obligation would still help whether or not Liberians at home support dual citizenship. Again, an insult. Okay? We are giving you money. and you're going to strip these people of their citizenship. They are giving you money. They're giving you resources. We care about you, but don't get it twisted. We still want to have the right to be citizens of the country. Now, this is talk for natural born Liberians, but this is also going to be extended to African Americans, since African Americans are coming to the bicentennial. Okay. Furthermore, he makes the claim that the majority of the remittances on average of $477 annually comes from Liberians abroad or in the U.S. who are permanent residents. That's 90% of what the average Liberian makes in Liberia alone. And you're getting extra money abroad. But let's continue. He says, Liberian naturalized Americans constitute about 10% of the estimate 95,000 Liberians in the U.S. That number is speculative. They say it's 95,000. Some people say it's as high as 250,000 to 500,000. Depends on what measurements you use. He says of the 10%, about 2 are advocating for dual citizenship. In other words, the call for dual citizenship is by and for a small group of Liberians. Once again, an insult. Because to say that Liberians ain't advocating for dual citizenship when we've had the ULAA, the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, advocating for dual citizenship. You had a conference earlier advocating that George Weah give dual citizenship for July 26th, which is their independence. To say that it's a small, minute population is disingenuous and it's disrespectful. Okay? Then we're gonna go all the way down. We're gonna go all the way down. I'm gonna skip all the way down. I'm not gonna go through the article. You can read the article on Modern Ghana. It's jubilation of misinformation. It says, regrettably, however, most Liberian naturalized Americans do not vote nor upheld important government posts in America. Apparently, you ain't been paying attention because there was a Liberian mayor in Montana. There was a Liberian who won in Colorado. There's a huge Liberian population that was active during the Black Lives Matter movement in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. So I don't understand what this man is saying because it's not making no sense, and the person who wrote this sounds very ignorant. Okay, they sound ignorant. This is a terrible case against Ducey. Terrible case. Let's continue. He says, so the question is, why did they become citizens for? They could have remained green card holders and retained their Liberian citizenship, but they willingly chose not to. Some analysts or experts view that the result of this behavior is the lack of national pride and patriotism and the exercise of personal desire. That is Liberians in Liberia to do. It is your job to give your people incentives to come back. Don't insult people for them getting citizenship in a country that they've been in for a decade or so, and you have not given your people the incentive to come back and invest in. Do not say that. Okay? Talking about this is patriotism. You got Liberians in Liberia today that don't care about that country and are corrupt as anybody. But gonna say, oh, it's a lack of national patriotism. Get out of here. This was one reason Liberians massively rejected dual citizenship at the poll. Not true. Many Liberians, to a certain degree, didn't even understand what the whole dual citizenship thing was about anyway. And there was a lot of misinformation and propaganda going out there. But I digress. Let's continue on. This is the final page. I didn't read through everything, but I wanted to read the important parts. He says, rather than imposing dual citizenship on Liberian people, we urge the government, particularly President Weah, to encourage Liberians who have been naturalized in foreign countries to return home, regain their Liberian citizenship by denouncing their naturalization and applying for Liberian citizenship as the Constitution they require. No. See, this is what we mean. Don't understand and read the room, okay? You want Liberians to come home, you got to give incentives. I'm not going to give up my citizenship and then require it to do that way. I'm not going to do that. You give me a pathway, a shortcut to citizenship, and I'll be glad to give it up, as the Constitution requires. What? They can come and contribute to the development of the country. As the saying goes, there's nothing better than home. This is I just needed to address this because it's really irksome. It just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And then he says, with that, he says, when you have a green card, you can You can start a business, you can own property, you can live in America as long as you want. You can visit or live seasonally in Liberia, own land, basically saying that what you could do, you know, you can go to Liberia and you can do all that stuff. You can also sponsor your parents, your spouse, and your underage children to the US. What I don't understand why he said it that with underage. Just say y'all, it is what it is. You have all the rights, just like a born or naturalized American, except the right to vote in national elections and hold sensitive positions in the federal government. Hold on here. The vast majority of countries allow naturalized citizens to become president or vice president. America, with the natural born citizen to become American president, that is not the norm. In most countries, you can be a naturalized citizen and run for president or prime minister. Hence, Boris Johnson, who was born in New York, but literally is the prime minister of the United Kingdom. Most countries in the world allow for that. That's a natural citizen clause, and most countries don't do that. Okay? Secondly, the U.S. is based on jus soli, mostly, not jus sanguinis. Jus soli is citizenship by birthright, and jus sanguinis is citizenship through blood. Meaning, if your parents were citizens, you are a citizen. And last time I checked, that's how Liberian citizenship is given. And we have leges sanguinis, which is a specific type of jus sanguinis, which means it's tied to a particular ethnic or racial group. And in Liberia, you have to be black to be a citizen. So I just had to bring this to y'all. I went 16 minutes. I wasn't planning to go, but I really had to go into this because it's some good news. But you got some of these caveats, as I'm saying. You know, it's still unresolved, and then you got the people who are making this irrational case against dual citizenship, and the argument is incoherent. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not backed up in reality. It's not backed up in any sort of evidence. I'll also do a further video explaining why the diaspora Liberians and the African American diaspora, also the Afro-Caribbeans and Afro-Latinos, are important and how Liberia can tap into that. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to this video. Make sure you comment down below. Tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next video.